Yo, what is going on, guys? Jared here, and I have just finished my work week, and I finally have time to make a deck for the new, I think it's June 15th format, if I remember right, for 2020, where we just got our three changes. And I am super excited to make an Altergeist deck. Now, I have not touched this deck since before it got hit, and this was my list back before it got hit. This was exactly what I was playing at the time, and there's going to be some strict points in here that I want to talk about before I actually make a new list for this new upcoming meta that we're going to have. And like I said, this is for the normal Konami meta. This is not for the Pro Play Games meta that where they hit other things. This is strictly for our meta. So yeah, now there's some highlights here I want to talk about. The reason why I believe that back when before this deck got hit, when Multi-Faker went to 1 on that ban list, that was the same list that we got Solemn Judgment to 3. So this is actually, once the 15th starts, the first meta where we have 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Multi-Faker in the same deck that we are allowed to. So back then you weren't able to, now we can. That is a big deal. Why is that a big deal, you might ask? Well, if you look at my side deck, there was cards at the time that were out and at 3 that would super hinder Altergeist back then. Some of which being were evenly matched. It's still at 3 now, but is much less of a threat with 3 Solemn Judgment. And now we have a new Altergeist card that helps putting up Hextia turn 1. Other cards were Red Reboot. That card was at 3. It was ridiculous. So at the time, we Altergeist players were forced to play cards strictly for cards like this, such as Wiretap, as I have here in the side deck. And I was also teching Magician's left hand at the time. Because if you go Marionetter and activate left hand, set a bunch of back row, you can negate their Wiretap and or Red Reboot with left hand. It will stop the card every time. But now, in the 2020 format, where we have 3 Solemn Judgment, playing bad cards to counter super strong cards is no longer necessary. So we don't need the Wiretaps and the Magician's left hands. That's very important to keep in mind of how different this deck is going to be now as opposed to what it was. Another factor that is good for this deck was Dino Wrestler Pankratops. That card was at 3 when this came out. When this was at when Faker was still at 3. Pankratops hurt this deck a lot. That was a big problem for Altergeist. Dealing with 3 Pankratops was a pain. I mean, you had Protocol, but you know how often are you going to have Protocol? How many things can you play through? It baited out a lot, and it was a problem. Now with only 1 Pankratops and with 3 Judgment, we have answers to these very annoying cards. But yeah. So now I'm going to actually build the deck. I was going to just make the deck already and then just talk about my choices, but I feel like it would be more something different, something more unique to build the deck on video and go through my mind, maybe pick my brain a little bit of why I chose certain things. And then obviously I can't play test the deck today because Dueling Book doesn't update until the 15th for the new ban list. But I will be able to playtest it later in the week. There is actually a bunch of decks right now that I would love to test. I have replays. I was trying to get replays of a generator list, but apparently when you play generator, people just quit on you in Dueling Book. It happened 5 times in a row. So yeah, that wasn't fun because I really, really feel like generator is under-tested and undervalued for what it is. But yeah, this is not a generator video. This is an Altergeist video. So yeah, like I said, this is the old list, so we're going to start making some changes. We definitely do not need Akashic. We definitely do not need this one. Do not need. I'll leave some of the generic stuff in here for now, but most of this we're not going to need for the most part. The generic Altergeist package seems fine. I'm going to leave these all the same. Leave these 2 the same. Leave the free spoofing. Compulse is fine. Rivalry nowadays does not seem as powerful as it was back then. So for now, I'm going to take these out. Strike is still a very strong card. I'm not too much of a fan of DD Crow or Pot of Duality anymore since we got Faker back to 3. I'm fine with Upstart for now. If I need to take it out, I will. I'll edit it as we go. But first things first, Solemn Judgment to 3 is going to happen. I like the alternate art better with the girls with the halo, so we'll put those in. Also, I want to put in the other Altergeist. Conqueri. Conqueri is very strong against Elrich. You need to burn them out. And by burn them out, I mean you cannot be bouncing the trap cards with Silicoitus every turn. If that is a way to lock them for preventing advantage from coming, sure, that works, but you need to be able to burn them out. So I suggest bouncing the Golden Lords if you can, because they will run out of traps eventually. So this is a lineup right now. As you can see, I'll move these up here. We have 6 hand traps at the moment. I like Compulse still. Strike is still fine. I would not recommend making this go second. The reason being, when I was looking on YouTube, I saw a bunch of lists main decking Evenly Match and some other random off cards. I do not like going second in this deck because you're turning your optimal turn 1 plays into suboptimal plays. And what I mean by this, if you draw something like Marionetter for your normal summon, it does absolutely nothing. It goes from a card that should be good at all points of the game to going second, where it is very lackluster of what it's succeeding. Does Meloseek's power go up going second? Absolutely. But usually if you're going second, they're going to have some form of interruption or negate it to deal with the Meloseek in the first place. So it's not really gaining you anything extra, I would say. And then obviously all your trap cards that are not meant for going second that you have to play, aka Manifestation, Protocol. I'm going to assume you're playing Judgment if you are playing an Altergeist deck in the first place. Personal Spoofing. Those cards going second that you have to play are going to do nothing going second. So rather than play a sprinkle a few power cards to make it okay going second, rather than, and then it makes the deck okay going first as well. Why would you make it okay or okay when you can make it great at one thing and then you can side deck to be great at the other thing if you need to be? So that's what we're going to go for here. So as you can see, as you know, I should say, the current meta is very combo heavy because we did not get Christian Halki-Fibrax banned. We're still stuck. So we are going to have to put in, first things first, we need 3 Pot of Extravagance. That is a mandatory card in this deck. I will never play this deck without this. Since we're playing 3 Extravagance, I am not going to play Upstart Goblin, I don't think. I'm going to take out the rest of the crap in here that I don't think is needed. Frankly, I don't think most of this is needed in today's metagame. I will leave the evenly matches in for now, but we'll see what happens. Anything extra that I might keep in, I will put in the side deck for now, and then I will make the side deck after. So, like I said, I'm going to type in Altergeist again, because this card is a very interesting card, right? Haunted Rock is such a weird card. It is by far a brick going first, but it's really of what the value of this card brings for awkward hands that could make it playable. And I'm going to go through it and talk about it. I saw some videos. I know Pax showed some combo videos with how this card could definitely be beneficial, but we will see. And since we're playing Extravagance, I'm going to play extras of some of these cards. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know why. No, that should be fine. But yeah. Anyway, so we are playing 3 hand traps right now, 6 hand traps right now. I want to play more because, as you know, like I said, the meta is very combo heavy because Halki-Fibrax wasn't hit. I want to play more hand traps. So I need to think of hand traps that I want to play. Veiler comes to mind and Nibiru comes to mind. I'm going to go with the Nibiru for now. And I'm going to put Veiler in the side deck. If I can spell Veiler for my life. And we'll see where it goes. Maybe those will change, maybe they won't. But I would like at least 9 hand traps. So 9 is a nice number. You should draw at least 1 in every opening hand. You have a pretty good shot of drawing 1 in every opening hand, like I said. So we have 9 here. I might play more. 12 might be more optimal. I'm not sure. We will see if I keep in. I think the next card I would probably take out, possibly Strike, maybe one of the Manifestations or Protocols. I'm not sure yet. We're going to see how it goes. But yeah, let's finish up the extra deck because we know that we need certain cards to be able to play the game in the first place. We don't want to Extravagance away all of our Link Rebos, so I'm just going to play 3 of them. I know it's once you get the 1 in the graveyard, it doesn't matter, but at the start of the main phase, you have to activate Extravagance, meaning that you can't summon Meloseek first and make Link Rebo, etc., etc. So you don't want to lose them all. I'm not sure how necessary the Nightmares are, but we will leave those out for now. I saw people considering the Halki-Fibrax package with this deck with Selene and access code. You pay like 2 ofs, and if you don't Extravagance them away, you have a good damage push. I really like that personally, so I'm going to run with that. So we're going to play 2 Halki-Fibrax, 2 access codes, and possibly a Selene. 2 Selene. What is it? Master of Magicians? Or am I thinking of a different guy? No. There she is. Awesome. Yep. Okay. So I think that is fine for now. This might come out. I'm not a personal fan of Prime Banshee. It does not do enough for me. I never make this damn thing. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. So I want to talk about more about Haunted Rock. This card is very, very unique. We did not have this back when Altergeist first came out. This is a new edition, and what it does is it is a in-name trap that can be activated turn 1 off Marionetter. So it can make your Marionetter more of a combo piece. How good is that? We don't know. There was combos that say Marionetter and Faker. I personally am not a fan of those combos. Reason being, you're making yourself more susceptible to hand traps unnecessarily. Like going Marionetter for Protocol and having Faker in hand, that plays around Ash Blossom. But if you go Marionetter into Haunted Rock to pitch Faker, to then Marionetter, bring back Faker, activate Faker, and then you get Ash Blossomed on that, you're kind of in a bad situation for no reason when you already had a 2 interruption board, right? So we're not gain anything out of that. But the other scenarios is Marionetter plus Meloseek, the Marionetter plus Silicoitus, and the Marionetter plus Conquiri. Marionetter Meloseek is possible because you can go for Haunted Rock, obviously, activate Haunted Rock, pitch Meloseek, and then use Marionetter to send away Haunted Rock to bring back Meloseek. You can link into Link Karibo, or you can go straight into Hextia, really. Hextia, Meloseek at Faker, link away that for Link Cross. So it actually sets up a Faker play, right? So like these two make sense. Silicoitus makes sense. I know that as well. Because you can Hex, because Silicoitus will add back the Haunted Rock, and then the Hextia will add the Faker. So it still sets you up for something. Because you have to assume you're going to have a trap card in your hand, right? You have to assume. I think that's fair. So I do think Haunted Rock will be worth it in this deck, 100%. What to cut, though, I am not sure yet. I'm going to make these decisions as I go. But like I said, like I was just saying in the combos, I would like a Link Cross somewhere in my build. So I'm going to put 2 Link Crosses in. Because this forces the Hextia trigger off of any play with Haunted Rock. Like I said, if you open multi-rock, oh my god, Marionetter and Faker, it's probably not worth the Haunted Rock play. But if you open up Marionetter plus any of the other monsters, it is most likely worth it. Because you need to get to Faker. Faker's the name of the game. That's what gets you the advantage. That's what keeps you going. I do want something for more like back row decks. I don't like that I don't have any type of inherit spell and trap removal. I would like maybe something. It's just something I would consider. Like I would like Cosmic somewhere in my list. I know it's not a trap, but there's no trap at the moment that I can think of that at least prevents that. So I definitely want this somewhere in my list. I'll also put a Pointer. The reason a Pointer is good is because you can hit the Lightning Storm and or Evenly Match, or any card that would blow you out like that. And then on the following turn, because you're playing Altergeist, I'm going to assume that you are able to then make Hextias, or a Hextia at least, to stop the 1 blowout card, and then to still interrupt your opponent. Because that's usually how the deck works, right? You need 1 turn to set up. So if you can get to that turn, you're probably in a good position. I think I'm going to keep Upstart out because there is too many cards in this deck that I want to put in. So Upstart's going to stay out. So we have the 9 hand trap still. 3 impermanence is mandatory. Ash is 2 generic, hits everything. Nibiru is a high risk that does not. Remember, you have to remember with Faker too. You can always special summon Altergeist the turn you activate it. So if you Nibiru, you cannot Faker. So like I said, it's a high risk, high reward. You might have Faker in hand and Nibiru in hand, and you have to make a decision of which one you want to use. It could be a problem. So maybe Nibiru isn't the right choice, right? So maybe we can side Nibiru for only the combo decks, and we can put something in to replace it. What's it going to be yet? I don't know. Maybe I want something that's good against every deck, right? Like something that's pretty generically good. So maybe something like the Veilers can go in then, because that's just like a pretty good card against most things at the moment. And it helps with the Selene play. They're also the reason that you don't need what's it called? The reason you don't need to play main deck Veiler for Selene is because the Altergeist are already spellcasters, so you do not need that. It is not necessary. I want to play 9 hand traps. I don't want to change that if I don't need to. I will take out 1 strike for now and see where that leaves us. But I'm fine with playing Nibiru at the moment just because it's so high risk, high reward. So looking at the main deck, I like how it is. Like I said, I don't like the fact that there's no inherent spell trap removal game 1, but game 1, there's not a lot of floodgates that will harm us too much. And because we play Haunted Rock, it can negate trap cards, which is nice. Also, we have Silicoides plus the traps can bounce any floodgate to be able to set up for Hextia. So it's not like we have Meloseek, obviously. So there is ways to out them. I just like having different ways to out them. But overall, this list does not seem bad. I like Compulse. Compulse is strong. It feels good at any point, well, no matter what deck your opponent's playing. Chainable to the Elwich cards, obviously, and they can bounce back to Golden Ward and they don't resolve without their unique effects, whether it be popping a card or banishing a card from the graveyard. So yeah, the main deck, I absolutely love how this looks. I'm probably not going to change it. This seems pretty straightforward. Now moving on for the side deck. So we're already good going first, right? This is already a good deck going first. We don't have to do anything extraordinary. We're just worried about the side deck cards. So I think I'm going to keep Strike out because we don't need extra strikes. Because we're going to be putting in other cards. So like a pointer would probably go in every game 1 if we're going first. Just because we need to be able to stop the power cards. I don't think we need more than Solemn Judgment and a pointer. But yeah. So evenly, I am not sold on personally. I know it's good with Faker, but it is still just very meh, this format, I feel like. It doesn't do anything very special. Most decks have their outs to it, like the Elrich deck can just use, what's it called, Go to Lane Forever, and stop it anyway. And, you know, the, what's it called, the Adamantipator board has their negates out, obviously, Savage Dragon, Herald, etc., etc. And then Salamangreat has Roar. So as much as I like Evenly, you know, Evenly's obviously super strong multi-faker, I'm not denying that, but I feel like if you're playing against anybody who is in a competitive standpoint, Evenly match is not going to do it for me, so I'm going to cut this for now. Maybe I'll return to it later. So yeah, we have this is for going first. We have this for any back row centric deck like Guru, Mirror Match, etc., etc. We also have 3 Effect Veiler. There is other decks in the meta with the return of Sky Striker. This is probably guaranteed to go in because this is just an amazing card. It is a complete blowout. It's free if it resolves. That's how I see Imperial Order against Striker. It's just how it is. Sorry to say. So yeah, going first against that, that's fine. What else can we side? I like the 3 Veiler because 3 Veiler allows us to side more for the combo decks. I'm not going to play something like Phantasme for the same interaction with Faker that you cannot use it to turn you activate Faker. But I do want to play another hand trap for sure. It's just a matter of which one I want to play. I like Ghost Mourner because I feel like effect negation is very valuable. I also like Ghost Bell because Bell stops the Elrich trap. So that's very relevant. So maybe this is the hand trap I want to use. It's also good just in general. It's just a very strong card, I feel like. It doesn't have like too much interaction with the other combo decks of the meta, but I think it does like enough. You know what I mean? Like it'll do just enough to where it'll still hinder them. So yeah. Because if they go like summon Jet Synchron and then make Link Rebo and then use Jet Synchron, you can go spell it, and then that's the end of that combo. So it'll still do like enough, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. So we have the Evenlies, the Appointers, the Imperial Order. Now it's just a matter of what we want the last 2 cards to be. So we have some going second for combo, some going second for back row, and then some going first. Now it's just a matter of what we want the last cards to be. These can be anti-spell fragrances. Whoops. Jared can't spell still. Fun fact. So I'm going to put 1 anti-spell just right here, just so I keep it in mind. I don't know if I want it to be anti-spell. I would say Pancratops, but if I can resolve Faker immediately, I would like to resolve Faker immediately for obvious reasons. I like the 9. We have 12 hand traps. Maybe 2 more hand traps? Maybe Ghost Mourners? Maybe we could side out some of the other trap cards. I'm not sure, really. because realistically, combo's our worst nightmare going second, right? And we just need enough to break through their first initial push, and then we can control them the rest of the game. So I like the Veilers, I like the Bells, I like the Ash, I like Nibiru, so we're good. This beats Salamine great. This helps with Salamine great. Dinosaur, Ash beats, Nibiru beats. Veiler helps. Like, I'm trying to think of all of our matchups, which you have to do when you're building a deck, by the way. So like, this is what I'm talking about. Why I wanted to do this, because I'm thinking out loud of what decks I'm going to be facing against. Sky Striker, for instance. Like I said, we have Imperial Order, Cosmic Cyclone. Maybe DD Crow. Maybe DD Crow is the answer, because that's good against a lot of the decks, and I think that's probably the best one. The reason that I didn't put Anti-Spell in, or maybe it's 3 Crow, 2 Bell? Let me think. 3 Crow, 2 Bell. Do I like that better? I might like that better, to be honest. Oh, Bell stops Hadakira, though. Right? You can, when you're playing these effects, add a card from these, or banish your cards from the graveyard. Yes, that stops Hadakira, which is very nice. And it stops the elixirs. I think I want to keep Bell in. Elrich is always the first in my mind. I feel like that's the most represented deck most of the time. So I definitely feel like this list right now looks good. I'm happy with it, and I'm very excited to test it out. So I'll save that for now, and I'll set it to default. I know it's not playable right now, sadly, because Faker, as you can see, is still at 1. But that will change in 3 days. So maybe I will stream this deck in the future. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. If you also like me building these decks like this, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm looking for all feedback that I can. I like knowing what you guys enjoy personally. I appreciate every comment, and I appreciate every subscriber. So thank you so much for all of that. But yeah, if there is anything that you guys like here, let me know. What would you change to this deck? Any points that I said that you disagree with, feel free to comment. I always love talking. If you see my previous videos, I reply to almost every comment that shows up. And yeah, so overall, I am excited to test this. This is a rough draft. Feel free to test it yourself if you want to, if you're going to locals or for your friends. I know I'm going to. And yeah, so either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will see you in the next one. I don't know when I'm going to upload again. We will see. Hopefully within next week. That's what I'm hoping for. But, I'm back to work full time. So, we'll see what happens. But overall, we'll see you guys next video, and hope you have a good week. Bye.